All right. Going to start off. This is the preview, of course, for Saturday's games, early games and whatnot. And tomorrow, I'm going to go and see a movie. So I haven't seen a movie in a while. I've been wanting to see movies, but of course, with the channel, with weekends being the way they are, it's the only time where Yvonne and I could watch movies, but there's always hockey. So tomorrow, I'm going to duck out for a couple hours, watch a movie, and depressurize a little bit, which will probably be kind of fun. I also wanted to address, when I talk about a player like tonight, Patterson, for Vancouver being frustrated in overtime, I'm not talking about a guy slamming his stick and swearing or yelling or anything like that. He's not that kind of player. But when you watch his play after he loses the puck, you can see it. You can see him bearing down. You can see him. It's been a frustrating turn for him. The hitting the wall, which is the thing. A lot of rookies end up hitting the wall. About 50 games in, and you can tell he's frustrated in his play. He doesn't have the room that he had. He's not able to do the wizardry with the puck that he was able to do early in the year. He has those brief flashes, but teams are getting better at countering it. And again, part of becoming a superstar in this league is rising above that. So he's got lots of time, the young kid, and he'll do it. All right. First up for tomorrow, we're going to look at Boston and Columbus. So the Boston Bruins are 42-20-9 overall. They've lost 3 in a row. Now they've only got 2 points as their lead on Toronto. And they have Columbus coming in, who are 40-28-3. And Columbus is as desperate for wins coming out of tonight as they were going into tonight. And it's going to be tough for Columbus. It was a fantastic start for Bobrovsky. I'm going to check on goaltenders here. All right. No confirmations on the first game, but I'm going to say maybe they go with Korpisalo. We'll see. On the road, Columbus is 20-12-1. At home, Boston is 27-7-3. In the month of March, Columbus 4-4, Boston 4-3. Boston's looking to turn things around. Columbus is looking to maintain some momentum and get things going for themselves. Columbus won the only meeting between these teams this year, which means after tomorrow they will meet one more time. Panarin, 1 goal, 6 assists in his last 10 games. Duchesne, 1 goal, 2 assists. So a lot of pressure on Duchesne. And I've said it before, it really reminds me of Ryan Miller going to St. Louis. Really, really does. Going there for a big paycheck to get a team over the top, and it didn't work. We'll see how it works out for Columbus, but so far it's looking similar. Dzingel, 1 goal, 5 assists. Jenner, 4 goals, 2 assists. Foligno, 1 goal, 2 assists. Werenski with a goal and 7 assists. And Harrington with a goal and an assist in the last 10 games for the Columbus Blue Jackets. On the Boston side of things, Bergeron, 5 goals, 4 assists. Marchand, 6 goals, 8 assists. Krejci, 5 goals, 4 assists. Wagner, 4 goals and an assist. Achari, 1 goal, 2 assists. McAvoy, 2 goals, 4 assists. And Carlo with 2 assists for the Boston Bruins. I would not be surprised to see Korpisalo here because it's a back-to-back and because Bobrovsky faced 46 shots tonight. But they need to win every game, and they may go back with Bobrovsky. They really could go either way with this. Tortorella could very well say, you know what, I know you're tired. You're going back in. He's 5-4 in their last 10 with a .914 save percentage. Korpisalo lost the only game he played with a .943 save percentage. On the Boston side of things, I expect Rask, but they could go with Halak. Rask is 4-2-1 in their last 10 with a .901 save percentage. Halak's 2-1 with a .922 save percentage over that same period of time. So for the Boston Bruins, it's understated that it would be an understatement to say it's a big game because Toronto, with their win tonight, and just I get this feeling that Toronto is ready to get things rolling again. And Boston, with those 3 losses in a row, I have some concerns. I have some genuine concerns about where Boston's at. And I know everybody's been saying throughout the winning streak, oh, you worry too much. No, not really. And hopefully Pasternak's back soon because I think that'll go a long way to turning things around for the Boston Bruins. Next up, I think they're missing them a little bit. The Islanders are in against these guys, Detroit. Now, I'm not seeing an upset here. I just haven't worn Detroit gear in a while. So I thought I'll just wear it for the preview. 41-22-7 is the record for the New York Islanders. The Detroit Red Wings are 24-37-10. So they are not a good bet for an upset tomorrow. And considering how important every point is to the New York Islanders, who are embroiled in this fight for first with Washington and have to worry about Pittsburgh behind them, and potentially Columbus as well, and Carolina. It's a very congested division. Their road record's 19-11-3, which is excellent. At home, Detroit is 13-18-5, month of March. The Islanders are 4-3, whereas Detroit's 1-5-1. The New York Islanders have won both games between themselves and the Red Wings this year. And I don't see any reason to think it won't be a sweep. The Detroit Red Wings have, I think, honestly given as much effort as they can. I think that they just don't have the guns you need to go. And, of course, Zadina got sent back down after his 9-game experiment with mixed results. Of course, there's talk about how he'll be back next year playing a bigger role. I don't know. 3 points in 9 games. I don't know with Zadina. We'll see. Last 10 games for the Islanders, Barzal with 6 assists. Nelson with 2 goals, 2 assists. Filppula, 3 goals, 3 assists. Komarov with 3 assists. Cizikas, 3 goals and an assist. Leddy with 2 goals, 3 assists. And Pelech with 2 goals, 3 assists as well over those same 10 games. On the Detroit side, Larkin with only a goal and 3 assists. Mantha, 3 goals, 2 assists. Vanek with 2 goals, 3 assists. Rasmussen, a goal and an assist. Athanasiou, 2 goals and an assist. So there are a number of guys who've gone kind of dry when it comes to their production. Bowie with a goal and an assist. So he's looked pretty good, honestly, for Detroit so far. Maybe the trade to Detroit has helped him out, helped him with his career. Hronek with 5 assists in their last 10 games. Goaltenders, no confirmation. I kind of expect Leonard here. Greiss is 4-2 in their last 10 with a .931 save percentage. Leonard 2-2 with a .919 save percentage. On the Detroit side, Howard is 1-4 in their last 10 games with an .879 save percentage. I expect him here. They win for him kind of. Bernier, they're 0-4-1 with a .903 save percentage. And I've been feeling bad for Bernier for a while because it's not on Bernier. It's not he's playing badly. They don't play well in front of him. He allows goals because there's a lot of shots and they don't score. And yeah, it's been a frustrating finish for Detroit. The one thing that Detroit fans have to be looking at right now is, you know, if they can lose out and if they can end up getting that number 1 draft pick, that would be excellent. Not only that, but if they could get number 1 or number 2, you get the feeling that anywhere in the top 3 would be excellent. But for them, 1 and 2 would really be the prime spots. And the Islanders would love to send them as far down in the standings as possible. No problem defeating them for that. Next up, Chicago and Montreal. So for the Hawks, this kind of feels to me with tomorrow kind of like what Philadelphia went through today. Philadelphia had to win tonight. Weren't able to do it. So this is a must-win for Chicago. Also on the road like Toronto, like Philadelphia's was in Toronto. In Montreal, not an easy win. Though Montreal in the month of March has definitely looked vulnerable. 31-30-9 is the record for the Chicago Blackhawks. 37-27-7 is the record for the Montreal Canadiens, who, if they can turn things around, awesome. The problem is they're 2 points behind Columbus. A loss here, a win there. Suddenly it's 4. It starts getting away from you really, really quickly, especially with a dozen games left. On the road, Chicago's 15-17-3. At home, Montreal 20-11-4. They have to beware that Chicago won over Toronto, and they've shown that they can score in bunches. The month of March, Chicago's 4-2, whereas Montreal's 3-4 in the month of March. Montreal did win this matchup in Chicago. Chicago's going to look for revenge tomorrow night in Montreal. Scoring over their last 10 games, Jonathan Toews, 2 goals and 9 assists for Chicago. Patrick Kane, 5 goals, 4 assists. Brendan Perlini, who's become a story in and of itself, 7 goals and 2 assists. DeBrincat, 6 goals, 3 assists. Kunitz with 2 goals and 2 assists. Duncan Keith, 2 goals, 5 assists. And Seabrook with 2 assists to round things out for Chicago. On the Montreal side, Tatar, 2 goals, 3 assists. 2 goals, 3 assists for him over that same period of time. Domi with 4 goals, 5 assists. So Domi with 4 goals, 5 assists. Shaw with 5 goals, 3 assists. Drouin, 4 assists. Byron, 2 goals, 5 assists. Mate, 3 assists, and Kulak with a goal and 3 assists. I had to pause because cat reasons. So hopefully that's exactly where I left off. Goaltenders confirmed for tomorrow is Corey Crawford. He has to play. It doesn't feel like there's another option that's going to work. He's 6-1-1 in their last 10 games with a .903 save percentage. Cam Ward's the backup. He hasn't played in quite a while. On the Montreal side, I expect Carey Price, much for the same reason that I expect Bobrovsky for Columbus, because they need him. He's 4-5 in his last 10 with a .902 save percentage. Niemi's 0-1 with an .833 save percentage. So for Montreal, they really have to turn this ship around. It is absolutely imperative that they do that. If they lose tomorrow and Columbus wins, you're getting into the region where it gets really, really difficult to make it. But again, and I've said this before, I think the NHL's better with a healthy and playoff-ready Montreal Canadiens. I enjoy watching Montreal in the playoffs, even though I don't particularly cheer for Montreal. It's still, it feels like playoffs when Montreal's in it, and if Montreal and Toronto were both in it, even more so. Classic franchises, you've got Boston in there. Yeah. So anyways, basically an original six thing, right? Anyways, next up, Buffalo. Yep, there it is. It's back on the board. This is a Admiral Akbar magnet. It's a trap. Sent to me by a subscriber over a year ago now. I've got a bunch of them. This is the only game that I look at on the board and I say, you know what? That's a trap game. Here's why. Buffalo hasn't played well in quite a while. They're overdue. Carolina's coming off of a rough loss against Columbus where they threw everything at the net and they couldn't get a puck in there. If Buffalo can jump on Carolina early and have them second-guessing themselves, I think this is where we could see an upset. And again, it's the only one that's on this board. There's none on the other board either. But it just feels to me like this could be one of those games. Buffalo, who are out of it, they have to have one of those pride games. And a pride game is basically just for their own pride, they come out and they have a good game. Sort of like Anaheim's been doing for about a month now, where they're playing well in some of these games and it feels like they're doing it because they're probably embarrassed with what's happened this year and they want to give their fans something to cheer about. Now, Buffalo's record's 30-31-9. Carolina's is 38-25-7. On the road, the Buffalo Sabres 11-19-5, and at home Carolina is 18-11-4. So the odds are I'm completely wrong on this one. In March, Buffalo's 1-5-1, and in March, Carolina's now 4-2-1. So again, everything points towards Carolina. I have this sort of a gut feeling, and the fact that Carolina's won both matchups, Buffalo could win this tomorrow. They could. Scoring over the last 10 games, Skinner with 4 assists, Sherry 3 goals, 4 assists, Reinhart 4 goals, 2 assists, Okposo 1 goal, 2 assists, Tage Thompson has an assist, Rasmus Dahlin 1 goal, 3 assists, Montour 2 goals, 1 assist. On the goaltending side of things, we'll see. We'll come to that. On Carolina, Niederreiter 3 goals, 5 assists in their last 10 games, Aho 6 goals, 4 assists, Stahl 1 goal, 5 assists, Teravainen 1 goal, 12 assists. Wallmark, 1 goal, 3 assists. Hamilton, 3 goals, 3 assists for him. And Falk with 3 goals and 4 assists. Now, goaltending-wise, no confirmations. I would expect Hutton. Hutton's 1-3-1 with a .905 save percentage over their last 10. Ullmark's 1-4 with an .895. They could go with Ullmark, though. On the Carolina side, it's tempting to go with Mrazek, but they'll probably go with McElhinney. Because Mrazek played tonight. Mrazek's 5-1 in their last 10 with a .933 save percentage. McElhinney 2-1-1 with an .877 save percentage over that same period of time. So we'll see. We'll see if the magnet's a hit or not. Its track record's probably a little bit below 50-50 because again, trap game signifies that it's a lower team against a higher team. The odds of that lower team winning probably below 50%. So. Take it with a grain of salt kind of thing. Next up, Nashville. Yes, the Preds. 40-27-5 overall in against the 43-20-8 San Jose Sharks. On the road, Nashville's 18-14-4. At home, San Jose's 23-6-5. So it's an excellent home record for San Jose. In the month of March, Nashville's evened their record now at 3-3, whereas San Jose is 6-1. San Jose's won both meetings between these two teams. This is the third and final meeting. They're trying to sweep the season series. Nashville, on the other hand, is trying to keep their dream alive of finishing first in the division. And it's there. It's there for the taking. It feels like while Winnipeg won their last game and they look like they're getting it together, there's still a vulnerability there, and we'll see if Nashville can take advantage of that. Scoring over the last 10 games, Arvidsson with 3 goals, 3 assists. Granlund, 2 goals, 3 assists. Simmons with an assist. Simmons has only had 1 assist since the trade. They probably wanted more out of him than that. Sissons, 2 goals and an assist. Grimaldi with 4 assists. Yossi, 2 goals, 4 assists. Subban, 2 goals, 2 assists. On the San Jose side, Pavelski with 5 goals and an assist. Hertl with 3 goals, 5 assists. Nyquist, 4 goals and an assist. LeBanc, 2 goals and 6 assists for him. Melker Karlsson with 3 goals over the last 10 games. Vlasic, 1 goal, 7 assists. And Heed with 1 goal and 5 assists over their last 10 games with San Jose. Goaltenders, I expect Rene because these are all important games. He's 4-3 in their last 10 with an .897 save percentage. Saros is 1-2 with a .930 save percentage. On the San Jose side of things, Jones has played a ton. I don't see any reason he won't play here. He's 5-3 over their last 10 with a .904 save percentage. Aaron Dell, 2-0, but an .863 save percentage to go with that 2-0 record. So, San Jose, excellent record. They are right up there near the top of the entire NHL, but their goaltending likely leaves them a little bit nervous once it comes to playoff matchups. I think that's part of the reason why I look at them and I say, whether it's Arizona or Vegas, if they end up with one of those two teams, I don't know that either San Jose or Calgary I would be favoring there. Yeah, this could definitely be a year where we see a bunch of upsets. That being said, Nashville's definitely a team that has underachieved this year compared to what many of us had expected. They're not going to hit 100 points this year. They're a very good team, but the question becomes one of, are they a contender? Because they really need to be a contender. Rene's one of the older goalies in the league, and you get the feeling that there could be some turnover with the Predators this summer, next summer, and this might be their best chance, which is kind of why they went out and got Simmons and they got bigger. And we'll see if that starts paying off pretty soon here. Next up, Calgary. Yes, the Flames. In against the Jets. The Flames are 44-20-7. The Jets are 41-25-4. The Jets have to be somewhat frustrated with the way things have gone over the last month plus, but they're still first in their division. They have to feel fortunate with that. 86 points, and they're on pace for about 100 points. They could end up finishing below that, but, it still remains to be seen. They're 16 games above 500, and so odds are they probably get there. Anyways, on the road, Calgary's 21-13-2. At home, Winnipeg is 23-9-4. The month of March, Calgary's now 3-4, so they've won 3 in a row after losing 4 in a row. And Winnipeg is 4-3 in the month of March. The Jets will need to jump on Calgary early here. One of the big question marks from Calgary, and I've got an asterisk next to Sean Monahan. Monahan was just taken out of the game early on for Calgary. And so there's some concern about why Monahan got taken out, and there's no guarantee he plays tomorrow either. If Sean Monahan doesn't play tomorrow for Calgary, that is a major hole in the lineup that's been pretty healthy all year. They mentioned it during the Calgary broadcast that they knew at some point the Flames were going to have to deal with injuries. Is the Monahan injury a sign that those are coming? Because these tend to happen in waves. I can say as a fan of the Canucks, the Bruins, that they happen in waves. Dallas, the blue line, everybody got hurt at the same time. So we'll see. Calgary's won both meetings between these teams this year. They have a chance to sweep it. We'll see if they do. Over their last 10 games, Johnny Gaudreau, 4 goals, 8 assists. Monahan, should he play, 2 goals and 7 assists for him over their last 10. Matthew Tkachuk, who's back on fire again, 8 goals, 6 assists for him. Backlund, 4 goals, 4 assists. Frolik, a goal and 6 assists. Giordano, a goal and 7 assists. Hamonic with 2 goals and an assist. On the Winnipeg side, Laine's up to 4 goals and 7 assists in their last 10 games. Wheeler, 8 goals, 9 assists. Connor, 4 goals, 4 assists. Ehlers, 3 goals and 3 assists. Andrew Kopp with 4 goals and 2 assists. Sherratt, 1 goal, 5 assists. Right below Trouba there with 2 goals and 6 assists for 8 points on the Winnipeg Jets. Goaltenders, no confirmation here. If Smith feels up to it, I expect Smith here. Riddick is now 5-2 in their last 10 with a .906 save percentage. Smith's 1-2 with a .907 save percentage. On the Winnipeg side, Hellebuck, I expect here because it's a big game. He's 3-3 with a .909 save percentage in their last 10. Brossois 2-2 with a .913 save percentage. Just how average a lot of the numbers are for Winnipeg. Just middle of the road kind of numbers. At this time of year, it's a little bit disconcerting. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to try to doom and gloom this, but there should be at least, I would think, some concern in Winnipeg's organization for just the way things are going right now. Maybe, and I keep hearing that teams are just holding out for the playoffs. I've heard about Nashville. I've heard about Toronto. I've heard about Boston. I've heard on different broadcasts, and I don't see that. I don't see teams just sleepwalking through games going, it's fine, we'll wait till the playoffs. It's insane. I hear it from a number of broadcasters. I can't imagine professional athletes sleepwalking through games because they're like, well, we're assured of our playoff spot, it's fine. That's not good because you get into really bad habits that are really tough to turn around once the playoffs roll around. That being said, I'm now going to change boards. Okay, next up, St. Louis and Pittsburgh. So the Blues will have watched Dallas lose tonight, which was good news for them. They can move back into third with a win tomorrow and push Dallas into the precarious wildcard position. They're 36-27-7. The Pittsburgh Penguins are 39-23-9. Now, on the road, St. Louis is better than they are at home. They're 19-12-5, whereas Pittsburgh's much better at home than they were early in the year. They are currently 21-12-2, which does not tell the story of how well Pittsburgh's been playing at home over the last, I'm going to say, 3 months. In the month of March, St. Louis is now 2-4-1. Yeah, they're falling. And the St. Louis Blues are 6-1-1. Pittsburgh won this meeting in St. Louis. St. Louis is going to try to return the favor tomorrow. Scoring over their last 10 games, Braden Shen, 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. O'Reilly has 2 goals, 2 assists. Bozak, 2 goals, 2 assists. Barbashev with a goal. Thomas, 2 goals, 3 assists. Pietrangelo, 4 goals, 3 assists. Del Zotto with an assist. On the Pittsburgh side, Crosby with 8 goals, 11 assists. Gensel, 8 goals, 5 assists. Malkin, 3 goals and 6 assists. Kessel, 3 goals, 7 assists. Hornquist, 2 goals and 5 assists. Dumoulin with a goal. And Schultz with a goal and 6 assists for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Goaltending, no confirmations here. So, I'm not really sure which direction they're going to go. Binnington is 3-2. He's the goaltender with the better record with a .916 save percentage. Allen's 1-2-2, but he has the .928 save percentage. Allen's actually been playing, I think, better than Binnington over the last, I'll say, 3 weeks. But again, your guess is as good as mine who Berube's going to go with. Pittsburgh, I'd be surprised if it's not Murray. Smith started the last game. Murray's 6-1-2 in their last 10. With a .930 save percentage to Smith with a shutout in the one game he played in their last 10 games. So goaltending isn't really a problem right now for Pittsburgh. And yes, be scared of Pittsburgh in the playoffs. This is why, and I'm gonna mention this again. When I hear Boston and Toronto are upset with the way that the playoff seedings are going, all I can think is, yeah, because if you weren't playing each other, one of you guys gets to play Pittsburgh in the first round. I'm sure that would be much easier. Spoiler alert, it wouldn't be. Pittsburgh in the playoffs in the first round this year are going to be very, very tough. Whoever draws them in the first round, I really can't see Pittsburgh going out in the first round this year. And I think St. Louis is going to see tomorrow that Pittsburgh's playing. Look at this. Crosby, 19 points in 10 games. Yeah, he's warming up for the playoffs. He is outscoring everybody in the league right now. And that tells you what time of year it is. You can basically set your watch with how well Crosby's playing. It's terrifying this time of year. And Pittsburgh fans are going to go, hey, Shannon has no love for the Penguins. And they would probably be right. Next up, Florida and LA in the Why are we going to watch game? Well, there are some interesting parts of this game to watch. Florida's attack has been lethal, and Florida's best players have been fantastic up front. Their goaltending is actually, I think it's improving. And it's improving because there's this rookie kid that if he's for real, and again, I've said this and we've seen this, the rookies have their first go around the league and they put up good numbers, and then teams tend to get books on guys and they start to figure out where the weakness is with each goaltender, and you see over a longer period whether or not they're going to stay in the NHL. Plenty of flashes in the pan when it comes to goaltenders. And I'm not saying the Montembeault is, but I'm saying it's too early to say whether or not he's a long-term NHL goaltender. But he has given a whole new look to Florida's goaltending. 31-27-12 is Florida's record. 25-37-8 is LA's record. On the road, Florida's 13-15-6. At home, LA's 13-18-3. It's been a really bad year for LA. They can't wait for the season to be over. Month of March, Florida's 3-2-2. Whereas LA's 2-4. Florida did win this matchup in Florida. We'll see if they can win it in LA. Scoring over their last 10 games, Alexander Barkov with 5 goals and 10 assists. Hoffman, 6 goals and 6 assists in their last 10 games. Dryden Hunt, 2 goals and 3 assists, and this kid looks pretty good. Borgstrom, 3 goals, 2 assists, and Sheahan with 4 assists. Ekblad, 2 goals, 6 assists, and Pasic with a goal and 3 assists on the blue line. On the LA side of things, scoring is at a premium. 1 goal, 1 assist for Iafallo. Brown, 5 goals and an assist. Carter with 2 assists. Kempe, 2 goals, 2 assists. Toffoli with 2 assists. Doughty, 6 assists. And Ledoux with an assist. Goaltenders. I expect Montembeault here, to be honest. With Luongo, I guess, as the backup, he's 1-2-3 with a .901 save percentage over their last 10. Montembeault has a record of 3-0-1 with a .911 save percentage. Not bad. On the LA side of things, I expect Quick because they keep playing Quick all the time. He's 2-5-1 in their last 10 with an .858 save percentage. Campbell's 0-1-1 with a .915 save percentage. So I'm not really sure what LA's doing here, but when I see Willie Desjardins behind the bench, I go, yeah, he'll stick with the guy that's the veteran that's won 2 Stanley Cups. Even if his numbers are abysmal and they have a better chance at winning with Campbell, I wouldn't accuse Willie of losing on purpose because coaches don't generally do that. It's not a good idea because you're going to end up out of work. So you don't want to say, oh, well, I'll get us a better draft pick because you're going to end up out of work. So I do expect Quick because I think there's a belief that Quick can pull himself through this slump he's been in, but it's a slump that's been going on for a while, and they're going to have some questions in LA because Cal Peterson's sitting in the minors and he's ready. So at some point this summer they're going to have to decide what they're going to do. Next up, Toronto. I almost put a sticker on this one. So why didn't I put a magnet, an Akbar magnet on this one? Because Toronto knows better. This is Ottawa. This is a rival that no matter how bad Ottawa is, it's a rival. Ottawa's beaten them once this year. They know what Ottawa can do. And I don't anticipate a Toronto team that likely will be fighting some fatigue coming out of that game tonight against Philly. That was an intense game. I don't anticipate them coming out sluggish against the Ottawa Senators. 43-23-5 is the record now for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Ottawa Senators are 24-41-6. So it's been a long, brutal year for Ottawa fans. On the road, Toronto's 21-9-4 at home. Ottawa's not bad at home. They're 15-16-4. So there's hope on that level. Month of March, Toronto's now 4-2-1. Whereas it's a mirror record for Ottawa. They're 2-4-1. Both teams have won a game in this matchup this year, which again shows Ottawa competes well against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not in the playoffs. If you look at their playoff history against each other, these organizations, it's just all Toronto, which is something I've talked about in videos before. History series, go look it up. I'm just kidding, but the history series is fun. Anyways, scoring over their last 10 games, Patrick Marleau, 2 goals and 3 assists for him. Tavares, 5 goals and 7 assists. Nylander, a goal and 6 assists. Kadri, 4 assists for him. Janssen with 3 goals and 4 assists. Muzzin, 3 goals, 6 assists. That's why they picked him up, right? For all the offense? No, it's just a bonus. Zaitsev with a goal and 4 assists. And Zaitsev, if I had a dime for every time I've seen a review of a goal against Toronto where whoever the analyst is talks about, Zaitsev's probably in the wrong spot here. Zaitsev shouldn't have his stick there. Zaitsev's blocking his own goaltender. It's been a rough year for Zaitsev. I do wonder how long he's going to be a Toronto Maple Leaf. On the Ottawa side, Tkachuk, 3 goals, 3 assists. Duclair, 2 goals, 3 assists. Chris Tierney with 3 goals and an assist. Zach Smith, 2 goals and an assist. Gibbons, 2 goals, 3 assists. Wolanin with a goal and 2 assists. And Jarosz with 2 assists to round out the scoring for Ottawa. Goaltenders have been confirmed. It will be Sparks. Thankfully, because Anderson has not looked solid the last few games. He needs a night off. Hopefully Sparks can give him an entire night off. Over their last 10, Anderson 6-1-1, which is great, but that .896 save percentage, a little less so. Sparks is 0-2 with an .894 save percentage. Of course, he took the loss in that game against Chicago last night, the other night, even though he only missed 1, and the other 4 goals were allowed by Freddie. That's the life of a backup. Nilsson will be the starter for Ottawa. He's 2-2 in their last 10 with a .909 save percentage. Anderson is 0-5-1 with a .901 save percentage. So both Andersons will be the backups in that game, and it'll be very interesting to see how that turns out. With Nilsson against Sparks, that makes it kind of a fun matchup for that reason. Next up, Washington and Tampa. This is their first meeting this year. Washington gets a chance to show where they stand against the team they knocked out in the conference finals last year. Tampa gets a chance to show where they're at against the team that knocked them out in the conference finals last year. Washington's 42-22-7 and very quietly has put together a very solid record. The Tampa Bay Lightning 54-13-4 very loudly have put together an excellent record. And that record just seems to keep getting more and more impressive. Every time you go, okay, this is where they're going to have that letdown, it doesn't happen. And they're 9 wins short of an all-time largest wins season in NHL history. I think they could get there. They have, 60, so says they have 11 games left. They'd have to win 9 out of 11. It's not out of the realm of reality. Now, on the road, Washington's 21-13-2. At home, Tampa Bay is 29-6-2. In the month of March, Washington is 6-1. In the month of March, Tampa is 5-1. And this might be a matchup to determine power rankings supremacy. Just throwing that out there as kind of a teaser for tomorrow night. Could be. This could be. Washington has very slowly made their way up through the rankings, and I'll be dipped if they don't just keep winning. Scoring-wise, over their last 10, Ovechkin, 3 goals, 6 assists. So they're doing all this while Ovechkin's been quiet, by his standards. Wilson, 4 goals, 2 assists. Backstrom, 5 goals, 6 assists. Eller, 4 goals, 3 assists. Connolly, who I did a video about today, 4 goals, 3 assists. Kempny, a goal and 6 assists. And Orlov with 8 assists. On the Tampa side of things, Stamkos, 2 goals, 6 assists. Kucherov, 6 goals, 10 assists. Johnson, 4 goals, 2 assists. Cirelli, 3 goals, 3 assists. And Braden Point with 3 goals and 5 assists. On the blue line, McDonough with 2 goals, 2 assists. And Chernak, a goal and 3 assists to round out the scoring for Tampa. Again, there's a lot of guys on Tampa that you look at and you go, you could probably score more than that. And yet they have 54 wins. It's ridiculous. In net, I expect Holtby, because this is a big matchup. He's 6-2 in their last 10 with a .915 save percentage. Copley, 2-0-0 with a .908 save percentage. On the Tampa side of things, I expect Vasilevsky here. He's 7-1 with a .929 save percentage. Louis Domingue is 1-1 with a .908 save percentage. This is your prime matchup. This is your game of the night. And just for the record, people have said, oh, you should have your game of the night. I've wanted to have a game of the night and somebody has to win game. And I kind of made magnets up for that, but I didn't really like how they worked out. So over the summer, yeah, watch for me to develop some kind of a design that I can throw on a magnet and have magnets next year for these are games of the night. And these are the games where somebody has to win. Those games are a thing. And it's kind of fun when you look at a record and you go, okay, both of them have won one game in their last 10. Good luck. All right, moving on. Rangers. Poor Rangers. Now, for Rangers fans, this is kind of what they've been wanting, right? The Rangers have been too competitive for too long. They kind of wanted the tank. I've seen Rangers fans talking about it in the comments. Now they're 28, 30, and 13. They didn't look great tonight against Calgary. And the Minnesota Wild are 33, 30, and 8. And Minnesota's in danger of completely falling out of this. They are 3 points back of the playoffs. And with a loss by them and a win by Arizona, we're going to start calling it at that stage, which is weird because Arizona, it's that improbable run like I did the video on earlier. The Rangers are 11, 19, and 5 on the road now. It's been a miserable season for them on the road. At home, it hasn't been great for Minnesota either. They're 14, 15, and 6. In the month of March, the Rangers are 1, 4, and 3, and Minnesota's not much better. They're 2, 3, and 2. Minnesota needs to be better. Minnesota did win the only matchup these teams had in New York earlier this year. We'll see if they can sweep the season series. But man, this is a frustrating time of year for Minnesota. They were turning it around nicely too, and then it just started falling apart again. They've won 2 out of 7 this month. Scoring over their last 10, Zibanejad with a goal and 5 assists for the Rangers. Strome, 3 goals, 3 assists. Brendan Lemieux, 2 goals, 3 assists. VC, 2 goals, 2 assists. Elias Anderson with an assist. Heedle's got an assist as well. And this is part of during the season, you hear people saying, oh, they should be playing these guys more, these kids. Again, I'm all for playing kids if they're ready. If you put kids in there when they're not ready, and if a coach is saying, look, this guy shouldn't be playing, and you force him into the lineup, it can be detrimental to the player and potentially to the team's chances going forward as well. D'Angelo and Shattenkirk both have 5 assists in their last 10 games. On the Minnesota side, you can see how things have cooled off. Parise has 4 assists. Fiala only has 2 goals in their last 10 games. Zucker, 7 goals, 2 assists. He's been good. Greenway, a goal and 3 assists. JT Brown with a goal and an assist. Zucker is really the guy kind of holding it together offensively. Stahl has 8 points in their last 10 games as well. Brodin, 4 assists on the blue line. And Hunt with a goal and an assist as well. Goaltenders, I expect Lundqvist because Georgiev started tonight. Lundqvist is 1, 2, and 2 with a .904 save percentage over their last 10. Georgiev's 0, 2, and 3 with a .910 save percentage. On the Minnesota side, I expect Dubnyk because they need to win out. They really do. He's 5, 3, and 1 in their last 10 with a .917 save percentage. Stalock 0, 0, and 1 with a .923 save percentage. It is absolutely desperation for the Minnesota Wild. We'll see if they come out and play that way tomorrow night. Against a Rangers team that they should be able to jump on early and stay on them. This should be, like I said, a tired team, and they have to make this work. Next up, last but not least, Edmonton and the Arizona Coyotes. So the Oilers, who fashioned themselves as contenders for the playoffs as recently as a few nights ago, we'll see if they've thrown in the towel or not. They're 31, 32, and 7. They're in against the red-hot Arizona Coyotes, who are 36, 30, and 5, and have victimized the Oilers along the way, on their way up. And those are points that the Oilers really, really wish they had right now to get themselves closer to the Arizona Coyotes. On the road, Ottawa. It's Edmonton. I mixed up my tire fires. 15, 15, and 5 on the road is the record for the Oilers. 18, 15, and 3 is the record for Arizona. Now, measuring tire fires, the Oilers are a smoldering tire fire. Ottawa, you can see it from space. In the month of March, Edmonton's 4 and 2, whereas the Arizona Coyotes are 5 and 2. So again, for Edmonton to really get into this race and stay in it, they've got to win a lot of games. They have to win a lot of games. A win in regulation in Arizona brings them right back into that. If Arizona wins this one in regulation, it really takes them out. They're sitting at 69 points. They are 8 points behind. So with a win in regulation, they'd be 6 points out. Again, I know it's dodgy, but Chicago's going to be pulling for Edmonton too. Because if Chicago wins, then they pull within 4 points. So, yeah, the West is settling itself out. It kind of feels like Minnesota's falling out, and we might have our top 8 already decided. It's just a matter of seeding then. Arizona's won 2 out of 3 meetings against the Edmonton Oilers this year. Over their last 10, McDavid, 2 goals, 13 assists. Draisaitl, 6 goals, 10 assists. Chason, 3 goals, 2 assists. Lucic with 2 assists. Cassian with 4 goals and an assist. Russell with 4 assists. Sekera with 2 assists. On the Arizona side of things, Clayton Keller, 2 goals, 5 assists. Panik, 2 goals, 5 assists as well. Hinostroza, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points for Vinny. Galchenyuk with a goal and an assist. They could really use more production from him. Krause, 2 goals and 2 assists. Ekman Larson, 4 goals, 5 assists. He's been excellent. Goligoski with 5 assists as well. Goaltenders, I figured the starters are going in here. That would mean Koskinen. For Edmonton, he's 6-2-1 in their last 10 with a .928 save percentage. Stolarz 0-1 with a .909 save percentage over that same period. Kemper's 8-2 with a .943 save percentage. Wow. And Pickard, no record and an .833 save percentage in a relief appearance he had over that same period of time. So it comes down to Kemper again. And this is a huge game for the Oilers. They all are now. They all are. And as frustrating as every loss might seem, they can start maybe making hay. But again, they've got to win over Arizona. They kind of need Chicago to lose tomorrow as well. And they kind of need Minnesota to lose against the Rangers. They need everybody ahead of them to move so they can make that light a little bit brighter for them. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, we got 12 games tomorrow. This is going to be fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.